What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Footballrs. My name's Tony, and you can follow me down below at @LymanFootball. Today, we're going to be looking at superstar edge rusher for the Cleveland Browns, Myles Garrett, and analyzing everything that he wears from head to toe. Now, first off, we want to thank everyone that voted for Myles Garrett. Guys, if there's an athlete that you want to see that we have not covered yet, leave a comment on this video, on any of the other ones we've done of these. I check all the comments constantly to make sure we're staying up to date with who you guys want to see next. Also, because we are breaking down everything from head to toe on these people, we have links to every product in the description down below, or the closest item we can get to it that's available to you. Now, just for transparency's sake, most of the links in the description are affiliate links. So guys, if you do pick up those products, it really helps us out when we're making these videos. Okay, so starting out with Myles Garrett's helmet. Now with Schutt, it's actually really hard to tell the different models the same way it is to tell with like the different models for the Riddell Speedflex. Most of the time, all we can see is the outer shell, and we don't really know what's going on the inside to know what model it's going to be. Now, our friend over at Helmet Stalker let us know that he is wearing the Schutt Vengeance DCT. Now, an interesting thing about this helmet is it's not even available anymore. It's not rated on the Virginia Tech rating scale, and it's really hard to find. However, Schutt Vengeance has 3 other models you can look at. You can look at the Schutt Vengeance, just the base model. They have the Schutt Vengeance Pro, and they have the Schutt Vengeance Z10. Those models are all at different price points, and it kind of works its way up to where the Z10 is, I think, $500. But yeah, those are going to be your 3 options if you do want to go with the Vengeance, the same shell as Myles Garrett, but you won't be able to get the exact same DCT. All those 3 helmets are also rated 5-star on the Virginia Tech rating scale. The only difference you can see is the weight and the style padding right here. So that is going to be his helmet. The next thing we are going to talk about is going to be his face mask. So it is the F7 ROPO-DW-NBO-VC. Now there's a lot going into that name that frankly I don't fully understand. The only thing I really know is it's an F7 face mask, as it's made for the Schutt F7. You can see all the Vengeance face masks have those like curves on the top, so he definitely didn't go with that. It's really open in the middle, small bar on the bottom. I'm surprised he didn't go with something that covers his chin a little bit more, but it's a pretty open face mask. Now, if you do want to pick up this face mask for yourself, you can go check out Green Gridiron in the description down below. It's 50 bucks on their site, and you can pick any color you want it to be. Okay, the next piece of equipment on his helmet setup is going to be his visor. He's worn a visor every single game this season, and so far he's only worn a Oakley clear visor. Now you can actually see on some of these shots that they've done a really good job of getting some like really mirrored nice photos of him before these games. However, it's not a tinted visor by any means. It's a clear visor that he wears all the time in game. The only other time he's worn a visor outside of that was before a game. He wore this like anime visor that he had. I don't really know anime to know like what it, you know, like what series of anime, like I guess I don't even know that kind of stuff. But some kind of anime visor he wore for pregame one game. Now, personally, I think he chose that face mask to complement this Oakley visor. The Oakley visor has a unique bubble to it, which makes it really hard to fit in with big, overbuilt, or just large in general lineman face masks. But if you go with something more open like a receiver, it's really easy to fit in and gives you maximum visibility. So I think Myles Garrett chose that face mask just because it actually works really well with the visor. It's super clear. He won't get any fingers in the eyes from any old lineman. He can still see everything on the field, and for him, it looks like it's the right decision. Now, if you want to pick up that Oakley visor, again, it's going to be 50 bucks, and we have it linked in the description down below as well. Okay, now with that visor, the one thing that he's doing a little bit different is going to be the clip setup. So Devin has talked about how a lot of the players now are wearing the Oakley clips. They're a very slim, quick release clip that you can have on there. They're more of like a rectangular shape. However, you can tell that Myles Garrett is still using a set of Under Armour unbranded clips, and you can tell that because of the unique shape of them, that those are going to be the Under Armour ones. Now, luckily, if you do want to pick up these unbranded clips, it's a lot easier to get them than it used to be. Guys, even if you have any other kind of visor that has like a screw system, the unbranded clips are really good because they just have a thumb screw on the back. You can pop them in and out of any visor really easy, and they're really handy to have. The other nice thing is we actually have a link for Green Gridiron in the description down below, and they have tons of different colors and styles for these unbranded clips, so it makes it really easy for you guys to pick it up and mix and match with whatever your team colors are. And on their website, they're 18 bucks. The next piece we're just gonna gloss over pretty quick because there's not a lot going on, pretty standard, but he's wearing a Riddell Hardcup chin strap. You can tell it's Riddell because of the vertical lines, whereas the Schutt ones kind of work inward toward the middle. So it's just an unbranded Riddell chin strap, nothing fancy, no strap locks, nothing, just 4 buckles, white, plain chin strap. If you want to pick one of those up, it'll probably run you like 20 bucks depending on where you pick it up from. Like I said, there's really not a lot going on there. It's no different than any Hardcup Chinstrap that you'd be getting from your team right now. Okay, so the helmet setup is now done. The next thing we're going to talk about is going to be his shoulder pads. For his shoulder pads, like a lot of other players in the league, Myles Garrett is rocking the Xtech X2 custom shoulder pads. They're super lightweight, completely customizable to whatever he needs, and really popular in the NFL right now. Now, with his specific shoulder pads, there's a couple features that he's decided to add on, which I can't actually confirm because I can't fully see it, but I think I have an idea. On his shoulder pads, it looks like there is a piece that overlaps from the cup on the shoulder pad here, and it kind of attaches to the breastplate on the pads. That's called the anti-grab pad from X2. That's just something where your pads can't flex up and grab. So I think it's something he has. It's technically meant for O-linemen, it says on Xtech's website. However, I think it's an accessory he has added to his pads to make his pads more like one unit that the shoulders can't really move and be grabbed easily. Now, if you wanted to grab those anti-grab pads, those will run you $50. The other part of Myles Garrett's shoulder pads that he has is a backplate, and it looks like he's rocking, because he has the full Xtech setup. We're assuming this backplate here is going to be the Xtech 5-sided backplate. That backplate works perfectly with anything Xtech, so we're assuming it is going to be that one. It's probably the best setup for him. Now, if you wanted to pick up the Xtech shoulder pads themselves without any really customization, they're $500. The backplate is another $75, and the anti-grab pads that go across here are going to be another $45. So you're sitting at around $620 for his setup without any other customization that we can't see that goes on underneath. Now, as far as like sleeves in a game, Myles Garrett has mostly just worn a loose-fitting Nike Dri-Fit shirt, and either the white or the brown, something just super loose where he can still move around but gives him a little bit of protection. I think all it's really serving to do here is just give him a little bit of protection from turf burn. There actually was one game where Myles Garrett decided to go no sleeve, and he just rocked his bare arms, and his arms are so big that he got a random drug test after that game. So after that, he went back to wearing sleeves, I think just to get away with the hassle. Now, working our way down, all Myles Garrett does is he has his wrist just normally taped. You can see it's just black tape that he does underneath. And then for his gloves. For his gloves, Myles Garrett wears the Cutters Gamer 2.0 gloves. Now, this is back when Cutters Gamer were a little bit closer to a lineman glove, whereas now they're a little closer to a skill receiver glove. Back then, what Cutters did is they had the full Cutters palm on the inside. They had a completely padded back of hand, you can see here in the all white. And then to make them a little more breathable, they had basically a bunch of perforations all around the glove. So the way you know it's gonna be the Cutters Gamer 2.0 is gonna be the really thick padding on the entire back of the hand and all those perforations. Those are going to be our best guesses to making it the 2.0. However, a lot of these photos, because he always wears all white for these gloves, he's worn all white all season, the photos can be a little bit blown out. We can't actually get those for you guys because I can barely find them on eBay. You definitely can't pick them up retail anymore. The closest thing you can get now is probably going to be the Cutters Gamer 3.0. The 3.0s are closer to that than the 4.0s. So we'll have the 3.0s linked through Cutters. And then I think on eBay, we'll have the Cutters 4.0s linked as well. If you're looking for the same style of glove. Okay, working our way down really quick, you can see that Myles Garrett does keep a wrist coach on his belt. It's gonna cost you 20 bucks. We're gonna gloss over that one pretty quick though, because not a lot of D linemen are rocking a wrist coach on their belt. But you can see it's just there for plays or whatever he needs. If you want to pick up a wrist coach, we will have one linked in the description down below. Make it easier for you to see all your plays. But working our way down further, we're going to be looking at his girdle. Now, it's not always easy to tell with a girdle what the player is actually wearing unless there's something super unique about it. Luckily, in this case, we can see it has this heavy hexagon shaped padding in the girdle, and it doesn't have any built-in knee pads. That's gonna tell us it's gonna be one of two girdles, and I think he's worn both this year. So you can tell by the rectangular shaped hexagon padded girdle he's wearing here, it's most likely gonna be the McDavid dual density THUDD short girdle. This girdle, all it has is gonna be the hexagon pattern with the hip pads, tailbone pad, and the thigh pads. No knee pads built into it. In fact, Myles Garrett doesn't wear any knee pads right now. With this girdle, it costs you $110. McDavid is super well known for their hexagon technology, how it absorbs impact and the pads disperse. So they're really well known for that. I could see that being one reason why he's wearing it. If you are looking for a girdle that does not have knee pads built in, I highly suggest McDavid. I think they make really good quality girdles. However, they are a little bit expensive. This girdle right here, the THUDD one, is going to cost you $110. Now, I do have a couple other photos where I can't tell if either the pad has shifted around the side of his thigh or he's wearing a separate McDavid girdle for this, but I'll cover it anyways. If you do want a girdle with the exact same style of padding, except instead of the one rectangular pad, the pad also starts to wrap around the side of your thigh. That would be the McDavid Hex Short Contoured Girdle. It's $110 as well. It gives you all the same features. The only difference is the pad kind of wraps around your thigh a little bit. Might be helpful for some people that are like a running back and you're getting more hits from the side. It's 110 bucks as well. Again, identical, just a little bit bigger padding. Okay, the last piece we need to cover is going to be his cleats. So like a lot of stuff on Myles Garrett's setup, he's not a fan of anything that has come out in the league recently. Now Myles Garrett here in this orange and white colorway is wearing the Adidas Free Carbon mid cleats. Now it looks like these are the 2019 edition of these cleats because you can see they don't have molded studs like a lot of cleats nowadays. They actually have spike studs that are these screw in. I have the 2021 edition of that same cleat, the Adidas Free Carbons, and there's a bunch of key differences between this one and that one. You can see this new mid cleat is actually a lot lower cut, so Myles Garrett's probably going for that older one because he wants that ankle support. And you can also see that the studs on this are a lot shorter. On his cleats, he has the really big and thick screw-in studs that are replaceable, so he probably likes those because he can replace ones, put fresh new ones in every game, and it's really good for grass fields. Aside from that, he always wears them in the orange and white. It's gonna be really hard for you to find these cleats. If you want to pick up these ones, depending on the sale, they'll be between like $90 and $110. I actually did find them listed on Amazon where it says like listed, and then you don't really know what you're paying until you can find the sellers. So if you really want the old ones, you'll have to go with that, but if you can deal with the new ones, these are going to be the newer edition of those same cleats. So there you guys go. You can see Myles Garrett is really not a fan of anything new that has come out, and honestly for good reason. A lot of the lineman stuff that has come out in the past couple of years, there hasn't really been a lot of innovation or anything new. Lineman cleats haven't really progressed a lot past like the Elite 4 Savages that came out 2 years ago. D-Tacs are still the best gloves in the game, in my opinion. So there hasn't really been any big innovation for any lineman accessories in probably the past 2 years, which is why Myles Garrett is sticking with all these old accessories. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Again, comment down below who you do want to see next. Links to everything in the description down below. Pick it all up if you want to rock the Myles Garrett look. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Thanks for watching, Footballers.